Hello and welcome to the video. Before we get started, if you'd like to provide input on future content and get our weekly newsletter, click on our survey. The link will be below. We also have a report on Ethereum 2, along with a bonus report on why you should learn Solidity now. Again, the link will be below. Now on to the video, and thank you. Okay. So today we're going to take a little tour through the Metaplex GitHub. We've downloaded it, we've done some stuff, but there's some interesting aspects to it that I want to look at. So remember, it's a Metaplex-Foundation, and it could be very easily confused with the Metaplex repository. And there are a couple of key repositories here. The main one, of course, being Metaplex, and you can see very active. Now, one thing that isn't active, or that's being deprecated, is this location for the Rust programs. So, the Rust programs are now going to live. Let me go up here. In the Metaplex program library. And you can see we've looked at, the Metaplex itself, the gumball machine, the NFT candy machine, which we implemented. This is packs and programs, so you can have NFT packs, auction house stuff, the vault. The vault is particularly interesting because I'm hoping that that's where we might be able to do some interesting things, either vault or metadata, where we can do some interesting searches and stuff. So this is the vault program, and let me show you one thing, is that these are typical. Let's look at accounts. Let's see. Oh, no. This is not where I'm still in JavaScript. That's not where I want to be. I want to be in program to show you this. So here are your Rust programs. Now, the entry points, your typical Solana. These are Solana programs. Your typical Solana entry point. You have your processor. Now, this is where you have all your instructions, just like we've seen with Solana before. Program ID, account, and input, which are instructions. And based on the instruction, let's see, the instruction is a vault instruction, initial vault, init vault, add tokens. Now notice vault instruction looks like it's a class here. And here, down here also are our methods that'll do add fractional shares, and then, so let's have a look at that to show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. So notice, this is called, this is our instructions.rs. So here is vault instruction, and you've got init vault, you've got all these definitions here of different instruction. And I think, and this is where you create a vault instruction. And this is good. If you look up here, they go into great detail of the each instruction. So initialize the vault token and how this is done. So initialize, writable, and this is initialize vault. So this explains what it is. It creates the initial vault instruction, and that is what it's going to produce. So you can then use that and pass that to the Solana program, to the other Solana programs as your instruction. So you can see how that is set up. And of course they have state and utilities, and librs is just, essentially pulling things together. And you declare, I guess, a program ID here. So that's it, and that's an example of, how these things are set up with the vault, Metaplex itself. Let's see, it's set up in a similar fashion. So let's see, this is instructions, and let's see, this looks like it. Okay, so this does it in a similar fashion. Where you go through, it creates the different instructions. And let's see, a lot of text here before we get to, so you can see similar fashion here. So that's very interesting. It's I think it's kind of nice because it's kind of a nice organized way of handling a situation with very complex instructions. Remember, our example we worked through was just a very simple instruction. These instructions are rather complex. Here's our processor. So let's see. So you have different instructions that are passed in. Just like we passed in instructions from the TypeScript to the Solana program. And again, this is also a very simple, typical, not simple, typical Solana program. So that is that's basically how stuff is structured. Now we're going to probably be focusing more on not so much the Rust stuff, because that's, unless we have that's something that needs to change or use some of these libraries. Let's go back up. We're going to be focused more on the SDK, which is this is the documentation. So the SDK, they give you it's not as well documented as I'd like. You have some examples, you're getting started, and these things are actually, if you look at the, the website, you'll find that, or their docs, their official doc site. But they also have docs for the storefront, installation and knit store, which this is stuff we've done, customized. This is what we're going to be very interested in, because this will talk about where we need to look to make things, to customize. And again, it's very sparse, but you can use some of the techniques that we did in terms of digging through the code to do more advanced type stuff, or to do things that aren't documented. And another interesting thing, so we got our SDK, we got our Solana programs. What caught my eye is this Python API, because some of you are Python people, and they have an API right here that they created. Update token metadata, send, burn. So a lot of basic functionality. You see it's sending it to Solana, and then executing the transaction, sign it, send, and we execute the transaction. So now we've actually deployed 2 different basic sites. We have looked and tore apart an actual real life site, and now we've taken another look at their actual GitHub and what tools are here. So I think it's time to start doing some, making some modifications to our site and seeing what we can do there. Again, probably be focused mostly on the front end, but we can see what else we can do. The other thing that is a potential upcoming video is I read a very interesting article about tools for blockchain developers in 2022. Rust, of course, is becoming very important. Solidity is still very important, and one thing he points out is some of the tools for Solidity is Hard Hat and Brownie. So I think we might want to take a look at those upcoming. I'm thinking maybe we want to do some kind of series on Rust itself, because we've looked at it, but there are some things that may not be intuitive. If you want to see what of those things interest you, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments, and we can then look at it and see what people are interested in, and focus more on that. So hopefully this little look at their GitHub has been interesting and informative, and I will speak to you next time. Take care.